Good evening, everyone. This video is going to be a trading review and support session for April the 26th, 2023. And we're going to start the day by just going through the news that was forecasted or came through this morning. There was 5:30 news, but no other news. So let's see. Here's the news for the day. So Wednesday the 26th at 5:30 we had core durable good orders, trade good balance, and wholesale inventories. So trade good balance, we bought a little bit less, but durable good orders was pretty positive. Positive on core and positive on overall, which was negative last time and forecasted not to be nearly as strong this time. So the market reacted okay to that. So it was starting out as kind of a down overnight session, and so that allowed them to pop a little bit. And let's see, they brought it back up to. We had already made the low before that. So after the news, they brought it pretty much back up to yesterday's close in that range. And yesterday's close held as resistance, and then it came back down and made a new low in our trading time frame. So we've got a few things going on. One, there's some earnings, but the earnings have been fairly good, and with the exception of First Republic Bank, which had poor deposits, and that particular stock has been tumbling. And so as you can see, we were coming into the open. We were kind of in a downtrend. They had kind of peaked down here. The minute average, 3 minute, 2x20, 2x200, and the 5 minute is even up higher. So we were in a downtrend. But and when the market opened, I was thinking down. But right before the market opened, we had popped over the EMA and the slow flex a little bit, right? Still, fortunately, I mean, I would have been okay either way, but fortunately, I did not chase that into the 3 minute lows, and then it was breaking out. Well, I didn't initially trust that either, but I finally kind of, and this is a little bit too high, so I finally got a little bit brave here, right? And went long here, but did not get out. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure that's where my entry point was. It almost looked for a minute like I had enough room to get out, but I certainly didn't. Let's see. Entry was 3 1/4, and I was initially going for 5 ticks. I'm not sure if it would filled or not. It did hit 1 point exit, but I was initially going for 5 ticks. I later changed it to 4 ticks, so that's probably why. So anyway, so I did trust it long, didn't quite get out, going into the 2x200, and it's at the edge of the EMA band as well. So, but it was acting okay, right? So it pulled back to the EMA, went up, was going up again. So I added another one. So there's 2, and then it pulled back again to the. So this is starting to be a clue, right? So I did add to it a couple more times, but big down bar again from the minute average this time, bounced back up from the volume point to control, slow flex, and so I added to it. This is number 3, right? Back down now, still above slow flex, kind of doing it, doing okay, and so added 4 here. I mean, that's my 4th, and it just, I was improving the average, but it just wasn't working. So then it comes back down. Spikes down, makes a new low in here. So what I said was, Okay, if this thing pulls back, I didn't want to reverse down in here, right? So if this thing pulls back some, I'm just going to reverse. And it pulled back to the EMA area. I had 4 long, so I reversed. Now I have 4 short. All right. So you know it was starting out the day kind of low anyway. It was wasn't really happy from the overnight session, but it just looks like it's bouncing. So anyway, so they got me. So I'm reversing here now. So came back up. Remember, this is a little bit of a speculation. I just wanted to get a reverse somewhere around the EMA, right? Up close to the minute average, right? And then back down. So I did number 5. Pretty good down bar. I'm now going towards, let me show you. I mean, so this kind of, the moving averages, this kind of area is now holding, right? So I'm not necessarily paying attention to slow flex as much as I am reactions around those areas that have been holding. So let's see, this is number 5. I thought it was going to break down here. This one might have been a little bit too aggressive, so number 6 here. And then come back up into here. I'm not too afraid of it to the long side. And I entered, where did I enter? Where's my arrow? Let me see if I can find my location here on my trading short. 2. Okay. Right under the EMA. Well, there should be, I don't know if there is or not, but there should be a number 7 right there. Double checking. Oh, that's why. Because number 7 was not there. Number 7 was over here, right? As it came back up to the 2x20 and then hit it with an expansion. So that was number 7. All right, so it's coming down. And so now I've got 7. I mean, I don't want to have 7. I mean, I'm in a reverse, which is the reason why I've got that many. And I'm needing to get some profits and don't know how far it's going to go down. So yeah, I had to add to it. So here I'm out 3, right? So I'm still got 4, right? And then watching it, and then it comes out back down here, and now I'm flat and out. So with that reverse, right, it did kind of hurt. I'm basically, I said I was out with about 1 point of gross profit, but obviously with some commissions as well. So it didn't start out the day very efficient. So I had about 1 point, and then I got into a trade. Let's see. Oh, got a trade here, right, and at least got up to a couple of points of profit. I mean, it was an okay day, just wasn't really super efficient. I'm still believing in the short, not thinking it's going to bounce, right? Took another little bounce off of the, even though it's under Ultraflex, right? Over Ultraflex, took a bounce off the EMA, had to add to it, right? As again, these areas are holding, added to it, and I'm out here, and now it's 746. Then I got kind of brave. I'm not sure why. It worked. Should have, to some degree, right? So I'm doing the buy. Don't know why I got so. I mean, probably because of this pretty big up bar, right? So pops up, came back down. I had to add to it, and luckily I got out, right? Luckily I got out with profits. All right, so that is kind of in, wasn't a great time either. It was 650-ish. I think I did trade maybe a little bit too much today, but it all worked out. All right, so here's the next trade going into the 7 o'clock time frame, right? I let it pull back a little bit, took an entry there, and then and then didn't have to add to it out there. Um, Took an entry here, and I was trying to get out with 2 ticks, right after it kind of was bouncing, and I was moving my exit on my dome. I would have gotten 2 ticks, but I ended up just getting out with 1 tick, and then it comes all the way down. Could have got the full point, but that's okay. Right, because it's going into 7 o'clock, even though there wasn't any news at 7 o'clock. They fooled me a little bit again, right? And well, I mean, it was a little bit speculative, right? So I could have waited, but had pretty good down bars going into the 7 o'clock hour change, and I'm still kind of believing to the downside, right? Here, there's the 3-minute high, which is also volume point of control, right? Touched it, rejecting, right? But it popped back up. Let's see it. No, I didn't add to it. I just got out. All right, so there's that one. So profits are at least adding up. Here's one that I had to. I mean, it looked okay. The only thing wrong with it is kind of going into the double bottom, right? So I took a short here, right, going into the 3-minute low from back over there, and it wanted to come up and try it again, so it did. Again, I'm thinking down, right? So a little bit of an opinion, but it kind of worked out today because overall it was doing okay. So there's 2, right? Let it come back up. Here's 3, and then I'm out there. And let's see. Now there's some more trades, right? So here's another short here, right? This one is at least fairly well aligned. This one was at least coming off of the minute average, coming down pretty consistent, right? Under the slow and the Ultraflex out there. I know there's at least one more trade. I didn't. I think I was getting. I didn't think I really wanted to trade into the all session low. I didn't know how mad it was going to be. So I think there's one more trade that I don't think I called. That I just said, okay, well I'm gonna see if I can sneak another trade in. So I did, and I barely got out. So here's the entry, and I think I got out 1 tick. Well, I got out at the bottom here, right? It did come down and make one more lower low there, so I would have gotten out either way. And then because it wasn't, that was my last trade of the morning, and it's up 14 points gross, so that's not bad. And then I totally did not trust it on the long side anymore, right? Because it had been kind of a short all day long, and I was up 14. I did not need to trade, so I didn't feel like trusting anything. So the longs did not work out efficiently today at all. So ultimately, there was some sideways. It did recover some, right? And then was going up, and maybe some reasonable trades. I had already stopped looking at the market at this point. But as you can see, I mean, if we bring back up the daily real quick, you can see we ended down, right? So it touched the 50-day moving average area. Well, let's see, the low was 68 3/4, and so I guess it's, well, in the let's see what the medium. Well, it came within about a point of the 50-day moving average. Now the 50-day moving average has moved down some, so it'll be a little bit lower tomorrow. All right, so that was the trading. It was a little bit more active, and so I guess since I traded quite a bit in that first position that I took, the finger was ready to go. Still, took reasonable trades in the direction of the trend, and that seemed to be what was working today until the market turned around. and then I had enough points I didn't need to push it anymore. All right, so if no questions, that's pretty much going to be it for today. Okay, we'll see you in the trading room tomorrow morning.